everybody, today's video is a review of episode 20. Is this Henry Mills of Once Upon a Time? It's really late because the show has just ended. After this, I'm going to try and film the finale reviews. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. This, of course, was the episode where the curse breaks, where they defeat Gothel. And that's pretty much the big points. I'm going to start with kind of the easiest thing to do, and that's how they defeated Gothel. Alice, after the curse breaks, Alice turns her into a tree, and that's how they defeat Gothel. Little lame to me. I guess apparently she's so evil that there's no way to kill her according to the writers. So the only way to defeat her was by turning her into a tree, which I think is Canada. That's just my opinion. But at least she's been defeated. I mean, I kind of was expecting her to be, because the finale was promised to have all the old returning characters. And that, I feel like she probably would have been defeated in the last two episodes if they hadn't been canceled. But I was expecting her to be defeated. It's how this show works in a lot of ways. Although a lot of villains get reformed. They either die or they get reformed. Most got reformed. I mean, Ursula, Maleficent, Cora in the Afterlife, Rumpel, Hook, Zelina, Regina, and let me think who else. That's most of the villains right there. Cora died but was redeemed in the Afterlife, so that doesn't count as the middle. Gothel died. Tremaine died. Drusilla was redeemed. That was it. That's who I was missing. Peter Pan died twice. Double died. Anyways, they either die or they get redeemed. But I guess they decided Gothel was unredeemable, which I agree. I definitely think she is. I am okay with villains dying. I like a battle between good and evil where good wins. It's why I like stories like this. Why you like fairy tales anyways, right? For the most part. Or why we like Disney movies maybe. Whether you like, the original version or well, not necessarily an original version, because there's so many different versions of Cinderella and Snow White. I mean, there's stories that have existed in China, versions of it, so it's all different. But I do like stories where good wins. It's probably one of the big reasons why I like Star Wars. Can you see my Leia? Princess Leia, right there. Princess Leia. There's my Padme and Anakin blinds. You see Padme right there. Padme. There's a lightsaber over here. I love Star Wars. And Star Wars is about the battle between good and evil, where good often wins. Obviously they did defeat the Empire in the original trilogy. I'm about 99% certain that the First Order will be defeated. But anyways, enough about Star Wars. I'm glad that Gothel was defeated. I kind of wish she was defeated in a more, cool way, because it was lame. She's turned into a tree. Just saying. I was kind of expecting something with more gravitas, maybe, but what can you do? That's just this show, right? That's Gothel. The curse. Henry, of course, apparently, according to Regina, the curse not only sent them back into a land without time, but as Henry finds out when he asks, well, where's Snow, Charming, and Emma? Well, they were sent back in time. So technically, Emma and Hook and even another Regina and another Henry are all off in Storybrooke at the same time. Henry's graduating from high school. I mentioned several times they should have used time travel. This wasn't what I wanted it to be, because I feel like if they had used time travel, they could have had the original Hook. Maybe you know how like in Harry Potter, Hermione has the time turner, and she can be in both places at once. So she's in, let's say she's in divinations class, right? And then she's also in her history of magic class at the same time. Remember, or the ending, this is all in, by the way, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Please go watch that movie if you haven't seen it, or better yet, read the Harry Potter books. They're fantastic. Just throwing that out there. Also, but I think they kind of, I mean, since they can borrow from other books and things like that, I feel like J.K. Rowling wouldn't mind so much. They'd have to not call it a time turner. They'd have to think of another name, but it has the same principle. I mean, J.K. Rowling also used folklore, mythology, legends, all kinds of stuff in her research for the Harry Potter books. So I feel like it'd be a little okay because she probably discovered some type of time turner or something like that in her research. So I feel like they could have done something like that and been like, we were inspired by her. And they could have said that. And they could also call, you know, hey, J.K. Rowling, what's up? Can we like use this idea for our show? Because it's the only way we can have Captain Hook have his happy ending and actually keep, you know, the original character and not do this crazy convoluted version of the character from a convoluted world that's made by a wish that doesn't make any sense. Bye. Right? That's how the call should have been. But anyways, not exactly how I wanted the time travel aspect to have been done, but what can you do? C'est la vie, right? But again, they could have done something like that. But at least, I mean, that's, I guess, the only explanation as to why those characters are there. But it still doesn't make any sense, because where were the future versions of them then during that time that Henry was in the Enchanted Forest? Apparently beans are plenty available. Just saying. Can't, I mean, you think of this excuse, but we can find ways around it, you know? We can find the plot hole, right? Through that thought. And then this is also, anyways, enough about the time travel. They gave me what I wanted, but not in the way I wanted it, right? This also was the big, Regal, sorry, Regal? I don't know why I'm saying that. Regal Believer. You know what I mean? It's the Henry Regina episode. Henry breaks the curse with True Love's Kiss with Regina. It's the second one. He also had 2 with Emma. I guess that's a little disappointing though. I mean, clearly why couldn't it have been Cinderella? So technically, because Cinderella and Henry never had a true love's kiss, right? They can't be a true love couple, right? That seems to be the qualification for you to have true love, is if you had the kiss, which I think is ridiculous, but that's just me. I think having a kiss doesn't necessarily mean you can be proven true love in other ways, I feel like. Just saying. But that's how they break the curse. Would have liked something a little different. Just saying. Maybe, I don't know what. I can't think of, maybe Henry, you know, maybe defeating Gothel would have broken the curse. Maybe Henry defeating Gothel would have broken the curse. Because this was supposed to be, you know, about Henry's journey and how Henry becomes the hero, but that didn't really happen. I mean, Alice is the one that's the hero, and she's the one that defeats Gothel. Just saying, you know what I mean? Anyways, of course, Henry makes a phone call, older Henry, to younger Henry, and that's how he remembers and breaks the curse for him, which was like, it reminds me of that scene in Doctor Who where 12 calls 11 and is talking to him, and then he gives the phone to Clara because Clara doesn't know how to deal with 12 and all that jazz. Yes, I'm going to bring up Doctor Who just as much as Harry Potter because they're both awesome. Speaking of Harry Potter, I need to reread those books. I haven't done that in forever. Anyways, that's what that reminded me of. It's very timey-wimey, wimbly-wobbly, very Doctor Who, just saying. I mean, the doctors can contact each other in some episodes like that. It's true. 12 and 11 did it. Or they can meet each other and save Gallifrey from being destroyed in the timeline. Just saying. Anyways, that's how that curse breaks. I mean, I don't know if Adam and Eddie watched Doctor Who, but that's clearly how I feel like they got it from, possibly. Maybe the writers that wrote this episode did. Or watched Doctor Who, I mean. But yeah, that's where I feel like they got it from. Just my thoughts. Because that's kind of where that whole, like, aspect of meeting oneself comes from, really. Doctor Who, because he meets himself often. Well, actually, let me think. 3, 4 times? There's 4 times? 5 times? 5. Maybe 5. I haven't seen that one where 12 meets 1. I need to see that episode. Anyways, enough about Doctor Who. Back to Once Upon a Time. So, one of my biggest complaints about this episode is that Henry is planning his life. He's planning to go to college and stuff like that. And I have a feeling that the scenes were deleted because I think a lot of fans were upset by these scenes. But it's really disappointing to me to not see Emma involved in the process. I know they mention her, let's call Emma and tell her you got in, but I feel like, Henry should have waited for both moms, in my opinion. And I understand Jennifer Morrison couldn't be there for this episode, but I kind of wish they'd done something else with Henry and Regina. I do think, yes, you should spend time individually with a parent, just for bonding purposes, like mother-son bonding, mother-daughter, mother, you know what I mean, mother-son, father-son, that type of stuff, stepfather, stepmother, all of it. Bonding is key, and I think an individual parent should do that. But I think when it's something major, like going to college, or maybe getting married and having a baby, all your family should be there for those milestones. That's just my opinion. I would have liked to see, I'm glad they didn't show Henry's graduation, because that would have been like, wait, you're gonna show this graduation scene with only Regina in attendance? That wouldn't have been fair. And I'm sorry to the Regina fans out there, I'm not dissing her getting to spend time with her. I'm just saying important things like that should be with her, with Emma, with Snow, with Charming, with Hook, his stepfather, with his uncle Neil, and Zelina, his aunt, and his cousin Robin. All of it. Throw them all in there. They all get to go to graduation. They all get to go to the wedding. They can go to Lucy's birth, you know what I mean? Maybe even Lucy's birthday party. Why is only some family at Lucy's parties and things like that? That's kind of what I'm getting at. That's my biggest complaint about this episode. I didn't really enjoy it, though, that much, because it was too convoluted. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it makes the timeline go all over the place. Like I said, like the doctor often says, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff, right? It's a big ball of this. This is the timeline instead of this. I want this. This is for Doctor Who. This should be for Once Upon a Time. This should be for Buffy. This should be for pretty much every other show but Doctor Who. This is Doctor Who. This is fine for Doctor Who. Because Doctor Who deals with time travel and parallel universes and all kinds of stuff. That's the purpose of the show. That's the way it's been set up from the very beginning. Actually, probably from when they were getting rid of William Hartnell and replacing him with Patrick Troughton as the second Doctor. That's when they started adding all this stuff. Because before Doctor Who was in a way like this. For the first Doctor, that's William Hartnell, by the way, back in the 1960s. But anyways, I'd give this episode, I'm gonna be honest, a D. A D, but only because what saves it is Andrew J. West. His acting as Henry is top notch. He was perfect for Henry. I'm so mad. He was used a lot, but I wish the focus was on Henry more than it was on some of the more, like, I don't care about those other people, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be his story this season, and I felt like it wasn't. I felt like it was more about, he was like the character that kind of flowed in between everybody's story. That's just me. I give it a D. And I'll see you guys for the last 2 episodes of Once Upon a Time. Bye!